So the countdown to this year's World Cup is well and truly on as 32 nations combine to create the greatest sporting spectacular on the bloody planet. But in this video, I'm going to try and answer you one simple question. Can Canada win this year's World Cup? That's right, folks, back once again with another World Cup summary video. That's right, where we're going to try and answer one simple question. Can this nation actually go out and win the World Cup out in Qatar? We'll take a look at it, all of it, in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button, bang it, all things World Cup related, Blabbing Rovers related, world football itself related. We got it all here, boys, under one roof. Of course, the countdown is well and truly on, with the tournament set to kick off in November 2022, of course. But what's going to happen this coming World Cup? We'll take a look at all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. And if you are interested in helping out the channel in another way, check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Patreon, and of course there's a Discord in there. So get in amongst it and let's get chatting. Oh, Canada! They're back in the World Cup for the first time since, I don't even know. We'll find out in a minute. But of course they are back. And not only are they back, but they're back in style. They might even be back one World Cup too soon for this generation of talent. But of course they're there, they representing their country, and they're going to give it a good crack of the whip in a group which I think has got the makings of some potential banana skins. We'll elaborate on that in a minute, but before that, let's have a look at how we got here, of course, with Canada and, of course, their progress. They qualified as winners. Let me put that in some clarity there. Winners of the CONCACAF. For years, the CONCACAF has been dominated by Mexico, dominated by USA. Canada have never been in the discussion. They've not been in the conversation to be contenders to win the CONCACAF. But guess what? They're there, and they're there on merit as well. So they came through as winners. I will show you how we did that. Well, how they did that, of course. They secured the deal on the 27th of March 2022. This is the second tournament in their history, of course, with their last being 1986. A lot of you guys probably weren't even born then. I was. That was out in Mexico, of course. Streak, this is the first one in a row. The best was, of course, the group stage in 1986. Can they match that? Well, they're going to match that, of course. Can they better that? Well, we'll see. Their manager is John Herdman, of course, a bit of a nobody. No one knows too much about him, but guess what? The Canadians know about him, the Americans know about him, and, of course, the Mexicans know about him because he spearheaded this push. In a bit of a revelation, I'd say, for Canadian football. And I have said that before, it is possibly one World Cup too soon for this generation of talent. They've got some good players. Jonathan David, got Alfonso Davis at the back, or wherever the heck he plays for bloody Canada. He can play anywhere. Probably can play between the sticks. Got some veterans as well. Junior Hoylett, former Rover, of course. Once a Rover, always a Rover. So they've got some young superstar standouts, of course, coming through the ranks. But fortunately for them, they're at an age where next time, in 4 years' time, they'll be much more experienced, much more know-how, and hopefully there's more to come from Canada as well. So the VIP is, for me, is, again, Alfonso Davis will get a lot of the credit, a lot of the eyes, a lot of the plaudits because he plays for Bayern. But for me, Jonathan David is just as important, if not more important, because he knows where the back of the net is. He's a goal-scoring machine, and of course, getting him in tip-top form for this World Cup is going to be the difference between themselves qualifying for the last 16 or just going out the group stage. But there's no harm in either. Of course, they'd love to do the last 16 now, again, but do they want to peak too soon? Do they want to peak here in Qatar 2022, or do they want to save themselves for when they're on their own turf and, of course, in front of their own fans in 4 years' time? So let's just, if I was the Canadians, I'd just say, let's enjoy this, let's suck it up. I don't care. Let's play each game with as much enjoyment as the last and go at it as best I can. And we'll take what we get. If you finish bottom of the group, so be it. It's all about getting these lads, the young lads, and as well some of the veterans who may or may not be there in 4 years' time, the experience of tournament, if not world football, for next time's World Cup. Okay, so let's take a look at the journey. Now, the journey has been long-winded. I might have even done this a little bit backwards. No, it's right. So here we go. This is the initial group. Initial body group. Your Mexicos, your USAs didn't have all this bullshit. The Canadians had this bullshit, which is, of course, a ridiculous statement considering they came out on top billing. They did, of course, top their group in the early stages. The first round, which, of course, included the Cayman Islands, Aruba, Bermuda, and a revamped Suriname. Of course, Suriname were trying to be contenders this time around. So that made Canada go through to the next stage, which, of course, was that the group winners? Regardless, I think they were just trying to complete the monster group here of the CONCACAF. So they took on Haiti, of course, in a two-legged affair, which they won 4-0 on aggregate, joining El Salvador and Panama into, of course, this, which Costa Rica and Jamaica and all them guys were already waiting in the wings for the winners of that. But look at it. Look at what happened in the end. Canada came out on top. 28 points out of a possible, I don't even know, you do the math, 14, what's that, 30, 42, something like that, 42. So it's not great, but it came out top billing. 16 goal difference, of course, compared to the next best thing was 11, really, United States, but they were 3 points off. So Canada looked good. They looked good throughout. They even picked up results against Mexico and America on their own turf. However, they did lose to who are we looking at here? Costa Rica and Panama on the road. They picked up draws in Mexico, picked up draws against the United States. So they're there on merit, but it was a little bit nervy in the end. So 3 points clear of the United States and Costa Rica, but they are there, and of course they're now in this group, Group F, which is a very, very difficult group when you look at it from a Canadian point of view. When you look at it from a Croatian or Belgian point of view, you think it's a piece of piss. But the Canadians, they want to cause some ruckus here. They want to cause some problems and try and get themselves at least avoid that wooden spoon and maybe even just sneak into the last 16. It is doable. Every nation has a chance to get to the last 16. You just got to play your cards right. Let's take a look at the key match then for me is up against Morocco, and that is match number 3. But before then, they've got the hard work to do. They could be out. They could be out by that key match. Of course, let's clarify the members of the group. Belgium, Morocco, Croatia and Canada make up Group F. But, like I said, Morocco is the key match. They take on Belgium in the first match, of course. If they can pick off any points in the first 2 games, they have a chance. They have a small sliver of a chance to get through, and even honestly, there is a scenario in the world that sees a nation qualify with 3 points. Of course, I don't know how that will work out, but there is a scenario that can happen, and that could work in Canada's favour. So all in all, and in honesty, they have to beat Morocco, but unfortunately, the placement of that game is not ideal. You'd rather have that game first, give yourself some momentum heading into the final 2, of course, because like I said, Morocco and Canada could both be out by the time this game comes around. If they lose their first 2 games, that'd be 0 points heading into this one. Of course, both Belgium and Croatia could have 6 points. It could be over already. So that's the worrying thing. But you pick a point off. You pick up just 1 point in the first 2 games. You go into the game against Morocco with some hope. That's all you need to do for us. All you could drive on here. It's a tough order, and that's why that's represented by the odds 11-4 for Canada to qualify, and of course 150 to 1 to go the distance and win the pissing thing. That's not as bad odds as some other nations. But Linda, are you ready?
Can they win the World Cup?
Not this time. I'm going to be sharp with you. No, they cannot. They're not in my vision of the last 8. Of course not. I don't even see them in the last 16. To be fair, of course you're up against 2 European nations, and I'm not even talking about Morocco in this conversation at the moment. Just to get into the conversation of the top 3 is going to be tough for Canada this time around. Don't get me wrong. You've got some good individuals. And maybe in 4 years' time, you can get into the promised land of that last 16 and give your nation something to get excited about. But hey, you're here maybe a tournament too soon. So enjoy it, get that experience, get that know-how, and maybe even do a New Zealand and draw all 3 games. If you could do that and leave here with, of course, your tails up, your bit of pride, yet to taste defeat in a World Cup, then you know what, that's something that could be that couldn't be matched either. Only it could be matched maybe by the winner. But anyway, so can they? Heck no.
Will they win the World Cup?
No, Linda. Unfortunately, they will not win this World Cup. But will they win the next one? That's, of course, the jury is out on that. For me, group stage elimination for the Maple Leafs. So there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. A short, sharp take on this nation's chances out in Qatar 2022. What do you expect this country will do in this year's tournament? Do you think they'll get out of the group stages, or do you think they'll go deep into the competition itself? Let me know your opinion down below. And of course, we'll look forward to non-stop coverage right here at Blackburn Overseas. We're going to have, of course, predictions, previews, reviews, reactions, and of course, reactions from real fans themselves, of course. So that's all to look forward to this year out in Qatar 2022. So make sure you smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, and smash the little bell, boys and girls, as we look forward to a fantastic winter or at least late 2022 of world football. Let me know your thoughts and opinions again about this nation and of course the tournament itself in the comment section. But until then, guys and girls, I'll see you soon for the next one.